Perfect. So Arjun, thank you so much, for deciding to help us out with this video testimonial. Maybe just for the start, can you provide a brief overview of Humanic and your role and responsibilities?
Sure. Thanks for reaching out, Luca, and big fan of the Storylane team. So my name is Arjun Saksena. I'm the founder and CEO of Humanic. Humanic is a email marketing platform for automating your lifecycle email campaigns. So we built a system using generative AI that you can it writes the emails for you and optimizes them for you as your product changes.
Perfect. I love it. You showed me. I love it. Hopefully we'll also use it. That's the plan.
Yeah,
Once we are done with these little things. Okay, it's your role as the founder. Can you share maybe a bit more about the responsibilities that you have?
got it. So my role is almost everything, but also really focused on making sure that we make sure that all our inbound traffic to our website gets a very quick and easy way to understand what the product is about. And most people today want to see what it looks like. And that is something that I'm focused on. And that's how chanced upon Storylane. And I can talk about it a bit more.
So can you just maybe then describe how did you first kind of come across Storylane? What led you eventually to explore its potential?
Sure. Yeah. We looked at a lot of things. We looked at how we can create like a video explainer video with animations and things like that. Then we looked at tools such as Dopt that allow you to build an onboarding flow. But that was very different. I think their use case is very different that's in the product. What we really wanted to do was to provide the shortest possible way for somebody to understand the full value of our product within 60 to 90 seconds. And we looked at a bunch of different tools because there are many, many tools, Nevatic, Floyd, I forget a few, Walnut and Storylane. So I looked at all of these tools, configured different things in different ways. And what came out is that the easiest to use and easiest to configure for this particular use case was Storyline. And also, there's a balance between the features, the ease of use, as well as the pricing that made me decide on Storyline versus many of the other tools. Obviously, it works very well. There are no glitches, bugs, those kinds of things. So some of the other tools were a little bit more buggy or way too expensive for the value bundle that they were putting out there. So I think you guys have done a good job of making sure that all of these four things are tightly aligned. Like every day we get a handful of people that watch the product tours that we have created on our website. We also use the product tours to send to investors, which is slightly different. And we get Slack notifications every time somebody watches the tour. One of the things I was looking for is to capture the email ID of, or at least the domain of people who watch. Not that because we want to reach out and harass them, but just to understand like where are we getting traction from, who's looking at our product.
Got it. Perfect. What I can definitely add to that, what you said, when you have a pool with many competitors, you cannot just play on one card like a price or a specific feature, but like you have to be competitive in every particular kind of branch, right? So
Yeah.
that's why like this entire synergy will make sense. No, love it. And when it comes to Humanic, and did you have any sort of pain points, anything that kind of you really struggle with that kind of prompt you to, hey, now is the time to add, to change something. So what was kind of the trigger for you to add, in this case, an interactive demo?
Yeah. So we had a video before that, which we had created on Loom. And video creation is a little bit more onerous. Like you have to do multiple takes and recordings. Anytime you're a content, you create even small piece of content. It's hard to update video content every once in a while when the product changes because you have to be in the zone where you say, okay, everything is quiet. You got to record. It's, it just takes more time because it's synchronous. And with the product tour, if something needs to be changed, like a wording, or we need to add another screen, change the flow, those kinds of things are very useful to do so we can keep updating as we are building the product, the tour. Just thinking out. So that's the main trigger that it helps deeper engagement and people can also watch it at their own pace to say, okay, I want to stop here and just look at it. The one thing I would say that we probably can do with more analytics, like if you have like 10
Mhm.
screens, where are people dropping off? We get the time and everything, but it's a minor thing to say, are people dropping off on the third stage or the fourth stage, or maybe some way to like even a pop up that says, "Did you understand the value of the product, or
Mm.
did you not?" So I think that would be useful to us to say there is some sort of intent, because even though somebody may have gone through the entire tour, it's they still may not understand the value, or they might have
Mhm.
confusing it with some other tool. So as a startup, you need to be very careful to continue to understand whether people understand what you're selling.
I cannot tell you how many times I heard. I mean, in the previous call with right with the folks from Tabular, they said how much time they said when just kind of updating the demo versus creating a new video.
Yeah.
Not only what you said, you need to kind of synchronize the voice, audio, and video, but then also if you change something in the product, I mean, you're also a young company, right? When you build new features, when you build new stuff, you need to kind of keep it updated, and that's
Yeah.
where the pain starts
Yeah.
in videos. No,
And
cool.
if you fumble a line or two, you have to re-record it. It's like following a script is hard for amateur
Yeah.
content makers.
Yeah. Who tells me that recording video is easy? That
Yeah.
person didn't record videos. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so, yeah, and how do you use Storylane right now, Humanic? What are the use cases?
Yeah. So we have a product tour on the website, on our main website, humanic.ai. And that's our primary use case. So, like I said, a handful of people every day will watch the tour. We get the alerts on Slack saying somebody just watched the tour. We have
Hmm.
their email addresses in most cases. We know where they're coming from. So that's our primary
Hmm.
use case. Sometimes we have also sent this to investors who want more detailed walkthrough of what the product looked like, and they don't want to log in and sort of set up the product. So those are the two use cases.
Did you get some feedback from the second one? I mean, that one is an interesting one.
Which one?
For sending to investors, did you get some
Uh,
feedback from them? Like,
no, it's mostly to like when I send out,
educate them.
yeah, we send the pitch deck. We also send the product tour saying
Hmm.
it's right there. You don't have to go somewhere and log in somewhere and then try to figure out what the value is. It's right there with you. So
Hmm.
I almost always send out the pitch deck with a product tour.
Hmm. I see. I see.
Product tour
Cool.
and a case study. So here's a case
Hmm.
study, here's the product tour, here's the pitch deck.
You mentioned you get a handful each day of views. You can also see some details from them and stuff. I'm wondering, did you ever kind of like measure or do some kind of follow-up actions at something so that you can say, hey, Storylane attributed for this much humanity? Or did you kind of leverage that data in any sense so far?
Not yet. So we are not using that data to go back to people with trying to sort of get them on a demo or a call or anything like
Hmm.
that. We are just using it for awareness and
Hmm.
not even branding, just awareness. Like if you have
Hmm.
some interest, you can look at the demo. You can look at the product tour. It's like a couple of minutes, and that's what we use it for.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, what I can also notice, there's that use case. And for many companies, I would say that's enough. So what's they think, okay, now instead of having a video, I'll just put an interactive demo and then they see traction, they see people coming in, and then they're fine, they get it, they will do the
Mm.
rest. So they kind of don't have that kind of urge to kind of nurture
Mm.
them afterwards.
Yeah, because we believe that people who have intent will reach out to us or will sign up, they connect the data and do everything else. But if they just want to understand what we are about, then
Hmm.
that's fine. Like there's no, yeah, we don't want to harass anyone who just wants to know what we're doing. We are happy that they want to know what we're doing.
Mhm, mhm. That's good. Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. Makes sense. And if you consider now, so when did you implement Storyline?
What,
How
3 months ago?
what time? 3 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So based on kind of your experience so far with it, is there any kind of advice that you would give to other companies considering like not just Storylane but interactive demo kind of software in general?
I think it's a good piece to have so that people know that your product is real and they can see the major primary workflows. You can highlight primary workflows for it. So our advice is to use Storyline and build a product tour and distribute it.
Why do you think companies that are kind of PLG, or let's say they just have ungated product, why do they need interactive tour? That's the question I get often. Hey, our product is ungated. Why would I even need an interactive demo on the website?
I think because when you say ungated, you mean no sign up? Just
I mean, ungated, I mean like free sign up, right?
yeah. So we have free
Travel free.
sign up, but
Yeah.
there's a big decline if I look at the number of people that watch the product tour versus the number of people that sign up. There is a big decline. So there are people who just don't want to sign up, give you email address because they know once they give it to you, you will start sending you some emails and harass them.
Hmm.
So they don't want to do that. They just want to get us very high level sense of what it is that
Hmm.
they want it
Hmm.
quick. They don't want to go in and try and like the problem with configuring a product or logging in or signing up is that you will need to discover and set up the primary, secondary workflow, which the tour simplifies.
Hmm. What kind of I noticed if with this question, like when companies that have like a freemium or free trial, so people visitors can start the kind of the can experience the product right away. But what you said, they need to kind of leave their email, they need to create an account. The reason why they have like an interactive demo on the website is just they want to keep bring them, let's say, the product even closer, right? So like even to have like less traction so they can experience the product even before that preset.
Yeah.
And I think like I don't know about you, but for me, for the future, I think more and more companies like what Canva does, for example, will kind of start ungating part of the products upfront so that you kind of already, let's say, start a certain workflow on the website. And then kind of to finish it, you need to create an account, right? Because what you said, there is a quite a big drop between the visitors, right, and the conversions and the signups. So companies have to work more and more on that end.
Yeah. I think
Right.
this is good for us.
Got it. Gotcha.